Hi, good morning everyone, and welcome to the Westcon and Avaya Virtual Partner Summit 2020. My name is Bart Scheffer, and I will be your host for today, and make sure you have a great event and learn the best and greatest from Avaya and Westcon. As this is a virtual event, we want you to experience the next level of digital capabilities with our own virtual event platform called Venue. We want you to discover your experience with Westcon and Avaya, but engage with us. Be an active participant in this event and ask us your questions. Witness our mind-blowing performance from the celebrity mentalist Larry Suffer, but also share your opinion. We really value your feedback on today's event. We have a lot of interesting topics today, ranging from the new Avaya Cloud Office offering to subscriptions and our partner incentive with the race to Dubai. So I would all welcome you again for this great virtual partner summit and enjoy the show with Avaya and Westcon.
As businesses experience ongoing digital transformation, new opportunities are created. With subscription and consumption models taking hold in a cloud-based world, exciting openings emerge for vendors, partners and channel players, creating a new breed of distribution. That's why at Westcon, we're creating a future built on winning alliances. Working with partners, we combine our deep industry insight with energy, logistics, and global deployments. We believe the future is exciting and filled with opportunity. By partnering with the channel's most outstanding levels of value and service, be certain that you're part of a winning team.
Hello and good morning. We have already, I think, over 320 attendees from resellers Avaya and Westcon. Wow, this is very impressive. I am Marian Nickenig, VP Networking and Collaboration at Westcon, and I want to welcome you to our Westcon Avaya venue. Most of you are well aware of what Westcon can do for you, as many of you have been customers for over 5, 10, or even 20 years. We have 4 warehouses in EMEA, UK, Netherlands, Dubai, and South Africa. We have more than 2,100 employees across EMEA. We work with a focused portfolio of vendors, which we know inside out. We have a large training academy delivering both online and on-site training. We do staging. We specialized in global deployment, and we deliver in more than 180 countries around the world. We have a suite of tools considered best in class, including our platform Blue Sky, to automate billing, and Partner View, where you can order, see availabilities, find all your transaction, renewals, and related serial numbers at the touch of your keyboard. All of that you know as you are partnering with us for years. I want to talk about the things which you perhaps do not know about Westcon, our capabilities and teams which you don't work with every day, but which are the heart of Westcon. When COVID forced us to rethink our way of working, our executives reacted very quickly. In the few days, the decision was made that the most important thing was our employees stay safe and that everyone should be capable to work from home. Our IT department worked hard to make this happen as soon as possible in a secured environment. It took them under a week to enable all our 3,000 plus employees around the world to work from home. No easy feat to deliver this in this short time frame. Our warehouse team needed special protection. We ordered more than 10,000 masks for them, divided them into separated teams, so even if one person in a team was affected, we could still guarantee a seamless, uninterrupted service. We trained other employees as backup in the case we were needed in the warehouse. We continue to disinfect our warehouse every day. The team gets everything they need to do their job safely, and they do a terrific job for all of us. Our staging teams continue to operate. so we can send products directly to your end users and do installations remotely. Our HR team continues to support and motivate our employees with health and well-being initiatives. They encourage us to get fresh air, do yoga, go on walks, play games, and much more. It helps us all to stay productive and positive and shows we care about people as well as our partners. Our marketing teams have worked hard to deliver innovative virtual events so that even if we cannot see each other face to face, we can still connect, engage, and support our resellers and vendor partners. Unprecedented times require unprecedented ways of working. Home working is now the new normal, and this presents a huge responsibility for our vendors as well as for Westcon. I have been in that industry for 23 years, and I still love it. Technology is always changing, and you never stop learning. But what has happened in the last 6 to 8 months is incredible. Everything moves now even faster. Nearly every day, our vendors give us updates on their software release to support this new normal. Cloud before COVID was daunting for many people, but now it is the best way to support customers. Cloud keeps us productive when we can't do on-site installations. Avaya Spaces is a powerful collaboration tool, and Avaya subscriptions are growing every day. ACO, Avaya Cloud Office, is the solution for the new way of working, helping organizations transition their budget from CapEx to OpEx. A new way of building a recurring revenue stream without huge investments, with no need for technicians or on-site installations. It's a cloud service sell to your end customers, which is different to anything you have done before with monthly commission payment. You'll discover all the benefits in the sessions. You should have fun today too, with the great mentalist Larry Sofer. He is as impressive as the tools which Avaya will show you today. And remember, everything you see and hear today is available from Westcon. Our team is here to support you. I will give you now to Fadi Mubarak, VP Channels at Avaya International. Welcome to the show, Fadi.
Thank you, Marianne. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today, and I'm very happy and proud to be here. On the next slide, it's a sentence that summarizes our mission in Avaya, our mission to the customers, which is to create experiences that matter. These experiences are for us, for employees like us, when we're working, whether from the office or from home. We need to be able to have a good working environment and an experience when using the different technologies. Now that we depend on the use of technology in operating, even before, where we're in the office, and more so from home now. It's challenging to work from home. Marianne, you were referring to the doing yoga from home. I had more time to do yoga from home when I was going to the office than when I'm at home. It's interesting. It takes a lot of changes and habits that are settling in this new working environment. It's also about creating experiences that matter to our customer's customer. The interaction between customers and their suppliers, it's becoming and turning to be much more dependent on the contact centers, on digital channels, on virtual environment, rather than face-to-face. So the key trends on the next slide that were captured by TSIA of related to what everybody is referring to as the new normal, but a little bit beyond that. The shift is permanent in terms of from products to services. These shifts happened, they were happening anyway, and they accelerated big times. The move to cloud or OpEx model also is permanent. Just before a year ago, probably, we used to, in most countries, not to generalize 100%, but in most countries, we used to quote a CapEx deal and give an option for subscription or managed service or cloud, private cloud, public cloud. And then depending on the countries, that percentage was or distribution between the two varied. But one thing happened today is that the new default is a subscription offer or a managed service offer or a private cloud or a public cloud. An OpEx offer became the new default, and a CapEx as an option. This is a big accelerated shift to cloud that happened. And the last trend that the SIA also mentions is the business users or the customers are buying outcomes. And we all noticed this. The discussion is around, this is the problem, or this is what I'm trying to achieve. Tell me how the solution you're bringing will help me achieve that objective or overcome that challenge. We've seen RFPs come out describing a business problem and asking vendors to provide, for example, contact center solution that with part of a certain process that will help increase the sale of a certain product by X%, or reaching the certain amount of customer base and increasing it, giving a business outcome objective for the solution. So the approach and the value proposition for our resellers, for you guys, as expected by the customers, is changing. And obviously, we all have a role to play here in terms of transforming our value proposition, make it more relevant, tangible, and appreciated by customers. So to overcome the transformation and the shift from projects that were based on long-term objectives to what we refer to today as necessity buying. All industries have been impacted in one way or the other by the repercussions, the economic repercussions of COVID. Some industries positively, like the online business and the delivery business and this type. But most industries have been impacted negatively. So these repercussions, these impacts have shifted the buying behavior or the spending behavior or the investment behavior to short-term investments and benefits being sought after. So we have a common responsibility here to understand the customer and go with solutions that are addressing their immediate pains, short-term benefits, of course, part of a long-term strategy. So that shift that's transforming has been illustrated in terms of impact on the resellers community, on yourself in the next slide, which is referred to as navigating the fish, where because we move from CapEx to OpEx, we see the top line revenues going down a little bit and some of the investment and cost going up. So how do we navigate that? Of course, by enriching the solutions being sold. So that's why we tend to expand the portfolio through Avaya and alliances and provide all these solutions through Avaya to the reseller community. So even though if the project is shifting from a CapEx to an OpEx project, by introducing more components into it, the top line is kind of maintained, or if there is a decline, it's minimal. But one thing for sure, the gross margin will definitely increase. So that has navigating the fish, as we say it, has been at the heart of redesigning our channel program, our different solutions, and how we reward certain behavior, represented on the next slide, to support you, the reseller community, in that. So that's why we have created 6 different instances or milestones during the year where a reseller can earn additional rebates from Avaya. These different milestones are related really to consuming new, to selling in the new way. So whether if you have a quarterly target and you achieve it, you can earn a rebate. There will be an annual revenue target, and obviously you can earn. Moving a maintenance contract to a subscription contract will earn you a rebate. Selling to a new logo or a new solution into an existing account will earn a rebate. Selling any of our cloud offering, private cloud or public cloud, will earn a rebate. And selling any of the strategic alliances will also allow you to earn a rebate. And all these rebates are incremental. And we designed it in such a manner to allow you, our partners, to really navigate the fish in your own way. So some of you, depending on your installed base and on the customers, will start focusing on selling the one cloud and the alliances. Others can start by moving the maintenance because of the customer situation, moving the customer to the subscription to prepare them to take them to the cloud world. Others will just pick up on the public cloud, on our ACO offering, and you'll hear a lot from Carlos and Dave about it, the exciting promotions. So it's, sorry, this slide. So it's about a transformed relationship between us and the partner community. We recognize the challenges being faced. We've redesigned our programs to support you in these transformation, to support it financially. As have seen, the rebates earned by any partner selling Avaya can be doubled to quadrupled in the coming year if these different milestones and we sell and consume in the new way, focusing on subscription, focusing on cloud. That will result in benefiting on your bottom line, which is, I think, on everybody's top of mind issue, how to survive in these times. This is the focus we are driving. This is what you will hear in the different sessions later today about each component, how it will contribute to what you're trying to achieve, to what your customers are trying to achieve. I want to thank you for joining us today. I want to thank Westcon for organizing, and I want to mention that we are always proud of that partnership with you and Westcon. Thank you.
Thank you, Fadi, for your view on the market and also the trends that are waiting for us. I think it's really great to see the opportunity for our partners to increase their revenue, but also their margin, but also in the end help end customers to achieve more. So thanks again for that, Fadi. Now I would like to give the word to Carlos Raman and later on also to David Barrows to tell us more about the Avaya Cloud Office. Carlos is a Regional VP Europe and Public Cloud International, and David is ACO Specialist within Avaya. So over to you, Carlos.
Thank you, Bart, and thank you, everybody. Good morning, first of all. I want to thank, on behalf of Avaya, Westcon for the incredible opportunity to let us have a great day to talk a little bit about where are we headed and what are the opportunities lying ahead based on some of the challenges and different changes that we've had and drivers that we've had across the different months, but also driven by the transformation into the cloud. So I wanted to start my conversation. We will be talking about ACO in a minute, but I wanted to start our conversation just with where we're at right now, which is we're in a crossroad right now. The reality is that for a number of years, we've been very successful as a IT enterprise player, and we've been able to be very effective and successful in the way that we've been doing things. However, there is a challenge and there's a transformation that is occurring right now. And the question that we all need to be asking ourselves is, are we going to continue doing things the traditional way, or are we going to look into the new ways and to change into this new business? The reality is that cloud is here to stay. And as Mariana mentioned a little bit earlier in the introduction, the Corona situation, pandemic has really accelerated this. There has been a catalyst transformation into being able to start leveraging a cloud even more. As a lot of IT companies are going through this process, most of us have been in this industry for a number of years. This is not necessarily a change that we were interested in driving. I could argue I've had a chance in the last 3 months that I've joined Avaya to have a number of conversations with both Westcon as well as some of our key partners in our relationship. This is not necessarily a transformation that we wanted to drive. On-premise business is very healthy and it's very profitable, and we've been doing it for a long time. So it's not like we had a choice. The reality is that our customers are asking for this for a different way to do business with us. As you can see in the next slide, the reality is that the way companies, enterprise customers are consuming IT is in a completely different way. Yeah. In the past, in the on-premise world, we would probably go in and we've been mentioning that customers have done capital expenditures and they've required pretty large, heavy investments in not only technology, but also in services. And the way it's happened is that customers themselves would own all the technology required to use this technology. And after that technology went through an upgrade cycle, they probably came back to us and they looked at an upgrade. And it was a very transactional way of doing business and a very transactional way in the way they've been consuming IT. So big requirement, big investment, then we all went away. Then again, big investment, big requirement, then we came back. Now, the way customers are buying and consuming technology right now is very, very different. They are very interested in investigating by themselves, doing their own research, assessing their own needs. Then they actually go through a selection process. Now, instead of doing big demos, big RFPs, big proof of concepts, they really want to test and play around with the technology. After that, they actually land or acquire a small amount of the technology. And based on that, then they start using the technology. And as they start seeing the value, they start expanding on that usage. Once they're ready or they've acknowledged the value that they're getting from the solution is when they really then make another investment on top of that. And that completely then this completes this cycle of infinite engagements with us as their IT providers, and that includes both the partners, the distributor, and ourselves. So it is really a very different way to go to market, and it's going to require for all of us to go to market in a completely different way. And this is why we're doing events like this, and we're working so hand in hand with Westcon in really and the partners in order to ensure that we have a seamless experience, an incredible experience for our end customers in making a lot of these investments in cloud. So to summarize in the next slide, we've done an incredible job as a partner ecosystem in really capturing a lot of the value that we've been able to do through this life cycle of on-premise. And the customers have really reached a peak of adoption of on-premise. And as any adoption life cycle of any product that has been launched in the past, it frankly is in a situation where the next phase is going to be decline. So it is up to us to, and as you can see in the next slide, it's up to us to really catch that next wave and really be able to build together the new phase of growth that we're going to have in together in this industry with the cloud adoption that is going to be happening in the next years. Yeah. As you can see in the next slide, we can see the growth of all the different unified communication product areas that we're having. These are worldwide numbers, but I just wanted to share with you, just give you an idea of what are the growth rates that we're going to see in the next 4 years. And you can clearly see that the product segment, target segment of on-premise, which is what we've been doing very successful for the last 20 years, is going to start decreasing at double digits for the next 4 years. Now, the overall market is going to grow, so that's not necessarily a bad thing. And it's going to grow because there's going to be a number of other product areas that are going to be growing and outgrowing the decrease on the on-premise side. And that has to do with public cloud. It has to do with private cloud, which also we have a very strong product offering together with our partner ecosystem, and a number of other technologies around collaboration and CPaaS. I have not included CCaaS here. That's obviously a additional double-digit growth on top of, and we're going to be making incredible announcements very, very soon together around that area. Now, the immediate opportunity that we have is around public UCaaS, and that is why we're going to have now a brief introduction from Dave Burrows from our team in order to walk you through what are some of the benefits of this incredible opportunity. This is an announcement that we did together with RingCentral a few months ago, and the incredible opportunity that lies ahead of all of us. So thank you very much for the opportunity to be here today with you. Looking forward to meeting you either virtually or as soon as possible face to face. And I'll hand it over to Dave. Thank you.
Thank you, Carlos, and thanks everybody for inviting us onto this call today. Just to reiterate the point that Carlos was making around the relationship and why Avaya have built this relationship with RingCentral. As everybody aware that, or should be aware that's on the call, Avaya, the largest global leader in UC and CC services, and have been for a number of years, where we've built solutions built around hybrid private cloud networks, on-prem solutions. And it's an extensive partner ecosystem that we've actually built up. So why did we do the relationship with RingCentral? RingCentral are the leading UCaaS provider globally with a true UCaaS solution. You can see that with the rollout plans that we have for ACO. We launched just over 3 months ago within the UK, Australia, and Canada after the US launch earlier on in the year. And in September this year, we launched the other regions, the Ireland, Netherlands, and France, with more and more areas coming as we work through the next 12 months, with December launching Germany, Belgium, Italy, and Spain. But why was the relationship actually talked about, and why did it come together? I've already mentioned we're the leader in UC and CC, RingCentral the leader in UCaaS. And we've been trying to play in that area with different technologies, different parts of our portfolio for a number of years now. But being able to take this relationship and build the Avaya brand, the Avaya features, the functionality on the market-leading UCaaS platform is seen as a way of getting to market very quickly and giving our partners, our ecosystem partners, the right solution at the right time. And if we can move on to the next slide, please. What I just want to run through is why the Avaya Cloud Office is really important for you as partners, but more importantly, why customers are looking to move down this road. On the next slide, we can see why the difference is. So I get asked this question a lot. RingCentral Office, are we just taking the product? No, we're not. We're actually working with RingCentral to innovate the solution, building features, functionality that our customers and you as partners are used to within our legacy base, on whether that's IP Office, CS1K, or CM solutions, being able to replicate some of those features like Core Park and Page, our hunt groups, our GUIs, our TUIs for voicemail, and make it very easy for the customers to migrate from an on-prem solution that they're used to into the cloud. But being able to use the Avaya phones and devices, things that they're used to having on the desk. Yes, it's a UC solution, but people still like to have a physical device that they can make and receive calls on. And the Avaya partner value, this is probably the key. In the UCaaS world, all these new vendors, majority go in there for direct sales. They see partners as a lead generation engine where we want to work and establish our partners' ecosystem, our partners' knowledge to win the new solutions, the new net logos, and also being able to take and migrate our customers to the cloud. But to complement that, we've got the high touch support. So having support from the Avaya teams, whether they're territory account managers, named account managers, the concierge team, there's a massive team that's been built globally to support you as partners to deliver these solutions, but also minimize the risk of the migration from on-prem to cloud. We've developed tools and the knowledge that you guys have got around the legacy on-prem solution and being able to move that easily, low risk, into the cloud solution. And it's an all-in-one solution where we can deliver voice, message, meet, analytics, all through a single platform. And on the next slide, just to reiterate some of the points, the customer migration journey. We're looking to remove that risk. A lot of customers I've spoke to over the last 6 to 12 months, moving to the cloud is seen as a risk for them. It's something they know they had to do, especially the situation we've been in with COVID-19 globally. But how to make it easy for them to transition from one to the other. being able to reuse some of the existing hardware they've got, the J-series handsets they might already have on site, being able to reuse those on a cloud solution. And I've already mentioned about the features and functionality, minimal retraining for staff, being able to use the same features, functionality, and everything the staff have got or got used to using and being able to replicate it. And I've already briefly touched on this, but having migration tools to ease that transition, being able to migrate from an IP office, whether that's powered by or on-premise, or a CS1K solution, and there's more migration tools that are due to come over the coming months. And on the next slide, sorry, that jumped a few forward, it was the support that we've got. We're with you every step of the way, as that says on there. The team within Avaya, whether that's a territory account manager, pre-sales, SE support, concierge team to help with the order placement and getting the DocuSigns out to customers. Having a designating customer success manager, and that's one of the USPs that we have against any of the other cloud vendors. We will assign a customer success manager to work with you and your customer to make sure that the implementation is a success, but also the ongoing support, making sure they understand about the utilization of the solution and feeding back to the customer to hopefully generate more opportunities for you within that account. And as a partner, you can be as involved as much or as little as you want. If you want to use a lead generation and we go and do the sale for you, that's fine. But if you want the support from Avaya, where you front and central to lead that opportunity, we will also fully support that. And on the next slide, the most important thing, your partner value. You know your customers better than anybody. Being able to work with that customer to understand what they have today, being able to bespoke the solution in the UCaaS world, the demo for them to actually fix the problems they've got today. We offer sales certification for the full partner ecosystem, and we've also included pre-sales certification as well for design. And I've already mentioned the customer success. You can be involved in this as much or as little as you want, whether it's the implementation and the integration services, and we'll touch on those in a few further slides. Optimizing the solution, being able to provide the wider ecosystem for the cloud deployment, things like networking, security, these are still required. And they've forgotten by a lot of the cloud vendors out there that without a suitable network, without proper security, customers are loath to move to the cloud. And that's what you can bring to the table and add to the solution. And if we can move on to the next slide, please. And I've already mentioned, we offer the full Avaya J-series support. The J-series and our comms devices fully supported on the Avaya Cloud Office solution. So if the customer's already got those, they can reuse them. But if not, they can purchase, whether it's through OPEX or CAPEX, so rent or upfront, with zero-touch provisioning. So the days have gone where you've got to deploy engineers to site, plug the handsets in, get them up and running with DHCP server and all the fancy stuff that needs to happen there. The phones get dispatched to where the customer needs, they plug it in and they start working. And I've already mentioned about moving to the cloud without retraining. We're making sure the handsets layout, the use is the same as what they've got today, with the busy lamp appearances, the key appearances, park and page, visual voicemail, and there's more and more features that are coming on the solution every day, every week. And as you can see on the next slide, we're also incentivizing customers and partners to help to this journey to the cloud. If, for example, you're an existing Avaya customer, whether that's using IP Office, CS1K, CM, we're offering a 25% discount on the monthly rental of the digital lines, the software license that are needed. But on top of that, 2 months free service, so the customer can risk-free move to the cloud and have the first 2 months free. And we will also replace any legacy handsets if they require handsets free of charge with the J-series range. With discounts on services, and because it's an all-in-one solution, that 25% discount also includes the support. But also, if you're a new customer, you can see here, it's pretty much a similar incentive, 25% off the DLs. The major difference, they don't get the discounts on the handsets, but we can support legacy handsets they may already have in their estate, whether they're Yealink, Snom. But the one thing they don't get at that point is the Avaya specific features. But probably more importantly for you as partners, as sales agents, is incentives to help you move these customers to cloud. The way it works is that you get a commission. Part of the monthly recurring revenue, you get paid back every month during the lifetime of that customer being your customer on ACO. If they sign for 3 years, but they extend for 2 years, you get 5 years commission. But up front, we give you something called a SPIF, and it's the strangest word I've come across. It's a made-up acronym, but it's an upfront payment that equates to a times value of the monthly recurring revenue. And if you sign a customer on a 3-year SPIF, 3-year term, you get 7 times the monthly recurring revenue up front. If it's 2 years, you get 4 times monthly recurring revenue as well. And this will also include any additions. So if the customer started today with 100 seats and in December extended that to 200 seats, we will pay that SPIF every time it's increased. We also pay incentives direct to the account manager within your organization. $10 per seat as a reward for every seat that's sold within ACO. And on the next slide, we'll show you an example of what this means for you in real terms. So if we looked at a small customer, 100 premium licenses, and I will run through the license types with you later on in this presentation. You're looking at $25 per user per month, but with a 25% discount, that locks it down to about $18.75. So the monthly recurring revenue there that we will invoice the customer is $1,875. They're also looking to attach some J169 devices, and it's a 3-year term. And if you look on the right-hand side, this just gives you a breakdown in year one. So year one, you get an upfront SPIF of just over $13,000. You will also get $1,000 back as an upfront device rebate. So we pay $10 per device back as a rebate. And then you get 3.6K per year paid monthly as a commission for the term of that deal. So it equates to about 25K over the term of that contract. But like I mentioned earlier as well, if the customer extends that for a further 2 years, 3 years, you carry on receiving the commissions there. And on the next slide, we now want to go into more detail of what Avaya Cloud Office is. And if we can just, it's a single app that's available across all devices. When we talk about it, we talk about message, meet, and talk. It's an enterprise cloud PBX, offers true 5 nines reliability, and it includes all the features and functions that customers have got used today. IVRs for incoming, hunt groups, IVRs for individuals, call appearances, but I've already mentioned integrations into third-party devices or Avaya phones, but we also include fax as standard. And the team messaging, it's something that I've been using now for nearly 12 months, and it's cut down my email usage by about 50% because we continually collaborate with the team or individuals through this single app. And because it's available in my desktop, on my Mac, on my iPad, on my iPhone, and everything I do from one device is available on all devices. But we also include complete team collaboration, which includes powerful video meetings. And on the next slide, it also comes with 4 integration services. One thing that I've been asked as working through my life in Avaya and within the channel is got a telephone system I want to integrate into my back office solutions, things like Salesforce, Dynamics, Microsoft integrations into things like Teams or Office 365. And Avaya Cloud Office comes as standard with over 250 pre-built integrations, which are included with the license type. Complete integration into the full Google suite, or simple as being able to do click to call from Chrome and having my phone built into that. I already mentioned the integration into Microsoft, and one of the biggest questions I always get asked, can we integrate into Teams? The simple answer is yes, we can. We can either do direct routing or we can do it with a bot, and it is included in the license. And if by any chance we don't have a pre-built integration, every customer and yourself as a partner will have access to the full open API ecosystem that comes with Avaya Cloud Office. There's over 10,000 APIs that are available that can be embedded into your customers' bespoke CRM solutions, or as simple as integrations within their website. We can move on to the next slide, please. And it's truly global. already mentioned this, and this is the first solution in my lifetime of working with Avaya where, being in the UK, I can sell a solution into over 148 countries. And it means that you as a partner can take this solution, invoice in the UK, and deliver a true global solution and be rewarded for that. We have the 4 global office solution available in 48 countries. And countries where that's not available, we can offer DDIs or IVNs into those local countries. It offers the customer a single bill in one currency. Sell it in the UK, they get invoiced in GBP. Sell it in Netherlands, it's in euros, but they can deliver in Singapore, in Australia, US and Canada, and have users over there working within days, not weeks. On the next slide, already mentioned about zero touch provision. So ordering handsets from Westcon, they will be sent to your customers pre-provisioned. They will be able to be plugged in, sorted and working within minutes. No need to send an engineer to site to be able to do that on the customer's behalf. And I've already mentioned incentives about attaching handsets to the solution. One thing I've worked out, a lot of these new players, including Ring Central, when they talk, they don't talk about the handsets, but the customers have still got a need and a want for the handsets to be there. And handsets are available to be sold as whether it's an OPEX or a CAPEX value. So they can either rent or pay for them up front. And if you look at the next slide, this is probably the biggest advancement in telephony that I've seen, or UC that I've seen with any platform. Every customer gets complete system analytics. So part of the Avaya Cloud Office solution, we give a guaranteed uptime of 5 nines reliability. We give a guaranteed MOS score of 3.8 and above. And the analytics allows the customers to hold us to those numbers. Within these analytics, they can see people using the solution. They can see real time what that person or what teams are doing on the solution. They can see the adoption, people using the video, the messaging, the calling. But more importantly, they can see the quality of service and drill down to see where that person is connected to, what network can they connect it to. And it's very, very accurate. When I do demos, I have to be very careful. It brings up pictures of where I'm connected to, and it's not far off the street where I live. It continually monitors the business communications, and all these reports can be set up that if there are any challenges, any issues, it can email your customer or you direct to say there is an issue. And it improves the business performance, making sure that people are using the technology they've actually signed up for. And if we can move on, please. And I've already mentioned a lot of this already. That it is truly scalable. It can go from one user to tens of thousands of users. And we've got examples of where our customers have already transitioned. There was a lot of conversations going on that this was made for hairdressers and chip shops, but we've sold solutions that are in the tens of thousands of seats already within the Avaya Cloud Office platform. Already mentioned it's global, and we've got global customers there now using Avaya Cloud Office, and you can now go into that market. It is true quality solution. I've already mentioned the analytics that shows the QoS dashboards that are available. It's standard-based quality of service, and we can provide documentation for the customers, for yourself, how the network needs to be set up, whether that's a WAN, LAN environment, broadband service, firewall, routers. All of that is taken care of and provided for you. It's truly geo-redundant, redundant across the UK, across the globe, and distributed architecture. But including the license is true 24/7, 365 support. The platform is continually monitored. Any challenges, any issues, you're automatically flagged. But if the customer has challenges, issues, I've already mentioned, we can set up emails to notify you when those happen. And it is very secure. We can provide secure information, security information across the DC down to the actual application layer. It's a complete redundant backbone. We have over 48 peering contracts within the UK alone for ISPs and network connectivity. And one of the failures that haven't got out there to you guys, customers as well, and partners, that you can deliver network services direct into the solution. So whether they're MPLS or SD-WAN, can be delivered onto the ACL platform. So it creates another sales opportunity for you. And if you can move on, please. And I mentioned it's simple. This is probably the easiest and most, I'll be honest, greatest way of quoting a solution. Within the UK, we have 4 license types. Within Europe, we have 3 license types. And to be honest, me as a sales guy within the Avaya team, I've only ever quoted the standard and the premium license. The Essentials is made is a starting point. It gives things like 100 inclusive minutes on the license type. It gives them the soft client, but what it doesn't give is the true collaboration solution. Where if you look at the standard and the premium license, 750 inclusive minutes on standard, 2,000 on premium. And these are aggregated across the platform as well. So if you've got 100 users on premium, they've got 200,000 minutes to share across that platform. Both licenses come with voice recording as standard. On demand for standard, bulk or on demand for premium. If you're looking at the 4 integration stack, you require a premium license. And one of the other major differences is the number of video parties that you can invite to your collaboration suite. On standard, it's 100 party video. On premium, it's 200 party video. And premium, from our experience, is what we found is the most common requested license within the last 3 to 6 months. If you can just move on again, please. And what resources have we got available? I've already mentioned about the teams. We've got an inside sales team that are here to support you, helping you with quotes, helping you get information around Avaya Cloud Office and helping respond to RFPs. We have the Cloud Concierge, so once you get ready to place that order, they are available to help build the documents, the initial order form, the master services agreement, and getting that out to your customer. We've also got the Avaya sales team. We have teams now within Avaya that are purely focused around Avaya Cloud Office, and they are there to support you, whether it's demonstrations, whether it's help with proposals, whether it's helping to get that customer on the hook for Avaya Cloud Office. And because we've got the channel team also responsible for the Avaya Cloud Office solution, they are also there. So reach out to your CAM and they can support with any of the information, any help in registering opportunity. And you'll see on the next slide how easy that is. Oh, sorry, the slide's gone, but I'll just wrap up, sorry. That software as a service is now a must. Every customer that I've spoke to over the last 6 months is expecting a cloud-based solution to be the lead of the conversation. It's a game-changing partnership for both Avaya, but more importantly for you as a partner of Avaya as well, being able to take a true enterprise-class UCaaS solution to the market. And the differentiation, it's more than just the features that I've already talked about. It's being able to take that customer and providing a solution that helps them work in the environment they find today. Their employees will be able to work from any location on any device without needing hefty IT resource to be able to enable that. And the ease of migration to cloud, one of the big questions that I've always been, or one of the big problems customers always have is the risk of moving a solution to cloud. But with our tools, with our knowledge, we can minimize and remove that from the conversation. But you as partners are more valued in this journey than I think most people recognize. The customers that we need to talk to are your customers. We need to work with you and help you migrate that base to the cloud solution. Give the customers what they want. Your customers are already speaking to cloud vendors. We can now go toe-to-toe with them and actually knock them off the block. And from your compensation, from the rewards that you get, it's more lucrative than CapEx deals. If you need more examples of that, more than happy to share with them at a later date. If you can just, and I just want to thank everybody for the time. And if there are any questions, please let me know.
Yes, thank you, Carlos, and also David for the update on the Avaya Cloud Office. I do want to mention that we're already receiving lots of great questions, so keep sending them in to us. We will respond to them or come back to your questions at the end of the virtual summit today. But yeah, already a lot of interaction. So yeah, from this I can conclude that it's a really interesting topic that you presented, David. So what are basically the next step for you as a partner? Well, first of all, reach out to your local Westcon team to discuss the potential opportunities and start onboarding for the Avaya Cloud Office. And as you are onboarded as an agent, you will also receive 2 demo licenses free of charge, alongside demo training to really get started with selling Avaya Cloud Office. And this will be available throughout December 2020. So do reach out to the team, and yeah, we're happy to support you on this. So now I would like to give the word to Rob Carmichael, consulting sales engineer at Avaya, who will tell us some more about Avaya devices. So Rob, over to you.
Yes, thank you, Bart, and good morning, everybody. So as you're going to see, I'm guessing the slides there. Thank you. I'm going to give you an update now on our range of devices. And this is a very busy slide, but just to look at the ones that have essentially been highlighted. Avaya's got an extensive range of devices to support your workforce wherever they're going to be, whether they're in the office or whether they are working from home. People, surveys show time after time that people prefer a dedicated device, whether that's a headset, a speakerphone, or a handset on their desk to provide the optimal experience for their communications. And of course, we bring an excellent design, high quality, full support, and unsurpassed security as well in terms of our devices. So starting with the B199 speakerphone, we've just launched actually Feature Pack 2, which brings Bluetooth Classic support. So that means that the speakerphone can now be used for Bluetooth calling from your smartphone and for playing music as well. So whereas before it was a standalone speakerphone as a SIP device and a USB device, you can now pair to it with your Bluetooth to control, but also to make calls from your smartphone. In December, we're going to launch the B129, which is our USB and Bluetooth sort of standalone speakerphone, if you like. So we already have the B109. In fact, I'm using one right now for this great hands-free quality that you can experience from it. We're going to introduce, if you like, the bigger brother, the B129 in December. So for those larger homework environments and maybe for those smaller group conversations. Moving into the handsets, we've just launched the J129 handset, which includes that color display and that kind of an industry first secondary display as well. So you can have your soft appearances, you can program your favorite contacts on and activate them via that's the kind of the buttons next to that secondary display there. And we've also launched the brand new J189, so our flagship handset with, again, double display, primary 5-inch display, secondary 2.3-inch display. You can also connect button modules on the side, built-in dual gigabit LAN onto it as well. So very much that high quality handset can also work off the Wi-Fi network, can work with Bluetooth headsets. So very powerful. When phone calling is a key part of your working day, people appreciate that dedicated device that will do it. We've also launched today, Thursday, 5th of November, the Vantage 3 handset. And I'm going to talk about that later on in this presentation. We've also updated this week the Vantage 2 software, which provides a number of enhancements to that existing product, continuous evolution there. And the CE360 has been significantly updated, which you're going to see in the next slides. So here we're showing the updated experience of when you take the unit out the box. You're going to see from the outset that choice between the Avaya Spaces room, the Avaya Cloud Office room app, which I'm about to talk about, and the third-party services. So very much out the box experience. You can optimize this for those different platforms. And I saw one of the questions was about how we differentiate Avaya Cloud Office from some of the other competitors out there. This is another proof point here, how we're working very closely with RingCentral and bringing this first to market, this deep integration between the C360 and the Avaya service. So as you'll see on the next slide, a bit of how this works. So this is the Avaya Cloud Office Room app. So running on the C360, full screen app optimized to join into your meeting room. So this allows you to, if you've got an Avaya Cloud Office subscription and the enablement for one or more rooms, then you'll be able to launch into that meeting from this unit just via that pairing code. And it actually works in combination with an Android tablet, so you can get like a standard like Samsung Android tablet and use that as the control surface for this device. So you see your meeting pairing code, you enter into that, and that joins you straight into the meeting. So very great experience for exactly what Dave was talking about, extending your meeting experience into a dedicated device for those larger home offices or for those meeting rooms when we're eventually out of the current lockdown. And as you see in the next slide, you see how this looks when you choose the Spaces option. So if you have one of our other offers and you're using Spaces in conjunction with that to provide that full collaboration experience, then this is what the Spaces app looks like. Again, in a similar way, running full screen, it's got a pairing code for if you're joining via PC, enter the pairing code, brings the C360 in without touching its controls. Or if you're in a mobile device on the Spaces app, you scan the QR code, C360 will automatically join into the meeting without touching the code, without touching any controls. So very simple to bring the best device into the call. You might start the call with your PC and then think, well, actually now I want to focus on some of the content on my PC and I want to move the call to a dedicated device. Or I'll start the call on my laptop and walk into the meeting room and connect to everybody using the pairing code. So whether you're doing that with Avaya Cloud Office or whether you're doing that at Spaces, it's a very simple experience. And as you see in the next slide, we don't just stop there. This whole new concept is, originally the C360 was very much positioned towards the huddle room. But what we've seen during COVID, what we've seen this year is people are now taking, whereas high quality video experience was something that was expected to be in the office only, people are now bringing that into their home offices. So they're looking for that better perception of the device, better quality audio and video wherever they are. So using the C360 as an offload from your PC, place it on top of your screen and use that to connect into the meeting while you use the PC to focus on your day-to-day tasks or your content. So that's very much the experience you're able to deliver. They're greater value for you as a partner. And as you see in the next slide, and I think it's probably a build there, there we go. So we haven't just stopped there in terms of the new capabilities. C360 now, again, 11.2 just being released, introduces RTMP support. What that means is that the C360 can capture your content into any of these platforms that you see here. So Facebook Live, Adobe Live, YouTube, and all of these commercial broadcasting platforms as well. So the C360 can use its great high quality camera and microphones to be your capture device so that you can then broadcast out, like we're doing in an event like this, to hundreds and thousands of people. So this is, you choose the service and we'll help you optimize that. So that's just a built-in feature that you get when you upgrade it for free via the cloud. So as we see in the next slide, in terms of moving into video collaboration products, we've launched the Vantage 3 today. So this is very much a powerful collaboration device. The built-in camera, built-in speakerphones, all of which have been updated. Very, very simple to set up. That experience has been optimized there. Again, it serves that offloading your communications use case. So I can use my PC for my content tasks, but I can use the dedicated device here to ensure I have a really high quality experience, no matter how busy my PC is. You can also use it to load up third-party applications. So you're going to see Spaces and other Avaya offers built into this, but you can also load any third-party Android app fundamentally, and that's supported via some of its built-in hardware capabilities. So some of the new things that this can do is it now has built-in HDMI, which means you can plug in an external monitor into this screen. So when it becomes, let's say somebody's sharing some content and you now want to see that on a larger screen, you can then load that up on your external monitor. Or maybe you just want to focus on the responses of your colleagues in the meetings. Again, you can load the video meeting onto that external monitor as well. So that's a great integration there. It also supports near field communications. That's that blue logo you'll see on there. So that allows some of those sort of new use cases of automatically pairing with other devices and automatic security logons with NFC capable devices, as well as what it already did, the great quality, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth that's built into it. And also via its Alexa support, you can use this to control tens of thousands of devices and workflows that are there. Just while we're on the subject of Vantage, the Vantage 2, the existing units that are out there in the field have been updated as well with the release this week. So there continues to be development with it within that platform as well. But we're going to see a bit, probably a bit of promotions of how we can move the Vantage 2 forward for those existing opportunities, very much focused on calling. And then we use the Vantage 3 for those kind of third-party apps and greater integration capabilities that it has. It's also significantly more powerful. As you start to use third-party apps, they're not necessarily optimized for any given platform. So just kind of increasing the raw power there is very important. So very much for your third-party app integrations, it's going to be your Vantage 3 and your rich calling, your video calling capability, while stocks last the Vantage 2. So as we'll see on the next slide, we're just going to talk about a bit how you consume this commercially. And Dave and Fadi have touched on this. We've made it very easy to consume Avaya devices. Of course, we've always got that upfront capital expenditure. If people want to consume it now, and thank you for pulling it in a bit there, you've got the ability to just buy those devices outright, as you always did. But we've also introduced a device flexible purchase plan. So, staged payments fundamentally. So still at the end of the agreement, you will own the device, but instead of paying for all as one upfront bill, you can stage that down into monthly payments with a term of 3 years there. And we've also got device as a service. So in device as a service, you are renting these devices. You don't need to find any upfront capital expenditure to buy them, like a flexible purchase plan. But at the end of the agreement, Avaya remains the owner of those devices, and effectively you can then return those for newer devices. You can renew your agreement and get the next generation if you like. And so for the very key companies are very keen on the latest technology, you could even take a 1-year agreement on a device as a service, not need a huge capex up front, but allow you to consume the best technology as it comes. And as you can see on the next slide, we've got some deals to show you how you can move this forward. Lots of active promotions right now, including 2-for-1 on selected devices. So things like the entry-level J129 and kind of that medium unit, the J169. While stocks last, you effectively you order 2 or 20, and effectively invoice you at half that rate. We've got free devices. So on certain models, if you order one model, you'll get a free 119 headset. And within that promotion, there are incremental discounts on a whole range of handsets as well. And there's also this device as a service 321. So different price points for the different handsets. So lots of great promotions available there to help you close deals today. And thank you very much for listening.
Yeah, thank you, Rob, for your overview on Avaya devices and also the current promotions. Always interested to see those promotions, of course, in the markets. I would also like to take this opportunity to introduce you to Westcon Connect, which is our platform for zero-touch provisioning and device lifecycle management. And especially in these challenging times, it is essential to offer your customers the highest service levels without the need for on-site support, but also increasing your profitability. So with Westcon Connect, you have no more plug and play, and it supports the Avaya J series and also the Vantage. And the good thing is that there's also currently a promotion on this one as well. so you can get free licenses for your own lab use to test it in your own environment and experience the advantages yourself. So simply reach out to your local Westcon team to get more information about this solution or learn more via our website about this special offer. Well, now I would like to give the word to Vincent Uppelschoten, Senior European Distribution Manager at Avaya, who will tell us more about Avaya subscriptions. Vincent, over to you.
Bart, thank you very much. So good morning, good afternoon, everyone. 15 minutes or so, I'll chat through the subscription offers we have available from Avaya at a high level, obviously. Feel free to continue to ask questions and we'll get through those as we go through the day. So from a subscription perspective, we have, broadly speaking, two options. One for the enterprise side and called One Cloud subscription, and second is the IP Office subscription offer. It says that limited availability is because it's the primary focus for that offer is in the countries where we do not sell Avaya Cloud Office. Avaya Cloud Office is the lead solution in the countries where that's available. So it is from an overall strategy perspective, and it's been repeated several times today. Cloud and subscription are the focus, not because we dictate it, but it's more that customers dictate that. They want to consume capabilities or subscribe to capabilities, and it drives better business outcomes. Okay, so virtually all of the current solutions we have today have a subscription offer available. So let's talk first about the enterprise options in the next slide. So just from a customer's perspective, they obviously are a number of things have been changing. The new normal mentioned several times today. Nothing too strange about that nowadays, right? But obviously also security is continues to be important for customers, especially when the workforce is being dispersed and working from home. So that's key and an integral part of the thinking when we talk about the Avaya One Cloud subscription offering, as well as the ability to work and collaborate with your colleagues as you're dispersed. So all these things are fundamental. The sort of integral part of the offer. So in the end, the offers are designed to help our customers interact with their customers and to improve the way that they work internally. From an employee perspective, to collaborate and improve the customer interaction. So let's move on to the next slide to kind of discuss why subscription has appeal for many customers. So some customers are very traditional in that way. They want to own the licenses, but obviously it's a bit more. Once you have the licenses, then you don't necessarily always have access to the latest versions of software. Support is separately offered. The software subscription may historically not have been required, or if the customer doesn't have it, or it has lapsed. So when you move to subscription, you take a lot of the goodness of a public cloud type of offering and provide customers with the latest and access to the latest capabilities. And from an Avaya perspective, we actually enable even customers on an older release to contract with us using the subscription offering as well. So they don't have to be on the latest release to get it. It is there, but effectively it provides sort of the best bits of from a customer's perspective, where they can continue to manage the solution themselves, as well as the best bits from the cloud side of it, where we operationalize cost. So many customers will be seeking to innovate, especially in today's environment, in order to differentiate themselves. But if that comes with a big upfront price tag, then the business case is obviously much harder to be built. So from that point of view, subscription is a good hybrid option for customers that will help them amortize the investment over time. So let's talk in the next slide a little bit about some of the key offers and benefits for customers on the enterprise offer. So firstly, we have unified communications or UC packages, and we have contact center or customer experience packages. Not complicated. There are three, a basic, a medium, and a power package on UC. And we on the contact center, we have the voice agent and the multimedia agent and a few options. Okay, so it's relatively simple. But for me, my experience, I've been with Avaya for a very long time, is that this package is not only available for new customers to consume, but also for existing customers. They can actually sort of move into this this subscription offer, even if they're on an older release. If they're on release 6 or release 7, they can still move the subscription and get all the benefits of the offers. So the benefits of the offers is that you get without any additional cost. When you subscribe to 100 licenses, you will get 20% extra. So we'll actually give you 120 the customer 120% or 120 licenses. The 20% stretch usage is included for free. Okay. The second thing we offer with all of the packages is that we include spaces. And Rob Carmichael will talk about that shortly, what that is. But that is the sort of public cloud collaboration environment. And that's included for free also. For every user, we include that. And not the basic version is free, but actually we include the business or the power licenses of spaces, depending on the license mix you have. Thirdly, it says here 60% of the new price you can pay if you're an existing customer. We offer up to 40% discount in terms of investment protections. That's incredible value that we offer, and associated with that, we have the device options that you can upsell at the same time at a reduced cost. Now, just a final word on the contact center package, because those are very rich in terms of capabilities. But if you have a customer that has, for argument's sake, just a simple voice contact center, but they move into a contact center package, then they will get access to all the capabilities of the contact center package, which includes, IVR capabilities, includes a completely new agent desktop with Avaya workspaces. So all the capabilities of the package are made available to customers to buy. It doesn't necessarily matter what they have today in terms of an existing Avaya customer, or what they have or if it's a non-Avaya customer, they get all those capabilities. So that's sort of at a high level the enterprise options. It has very good benefits for customers, but for you as a partner, we just want to make sure that you are aware of what we offer you. So besides the fact that you can take the subscription offer from Avaya and wrap it into your service offering to customers, as a private cloud offering or managed service offering, we also reward you for doing so. And it's very straightforward. For every UC seat of subscription you sell, you get $5, and for every contact center seat you sell, it's $10. So I've been involved in deals where partners can easily earn $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 on subscription, by subscription. So it's either a new customer or an existing customer with a maintenance contract that moves to subscription at the point of renewal. And that transition is, from our perspective, is really straightforward. Okay, so let's shift gears a little bit to talk about the IP Office subscription offer. This is again very similar. It's a monthly based option here. So on the enterprise side, we have monthly or annual prepay. On IP Office, it's a 1, 3, or 5 year contract with monthly payments, and it includes all the software, the support, and the upgrade entitlements. And Avaya spaces and Avaya devices can also be subscribed to separately as well. So we are actually in the process of building some additional offers and bundles around that to make it even more attractive for customers. So on the next slide, it shows really what the packages are for IP Office. Again, you'll see a theme here. Simplicity is quite important. It's available for both existing customers that want to move to subscription, where we offer the additional capabilities, or for new customers. It's the 3 main packages: Basic, Essential, and Power, and then obviously we have the Receptionist as well. But the key thing I highlighted here, which is very topical, is the Secure Remote Worker, which is available in all 3 packages. So we know that's important in today's world, and we don't want any customer to really miss out, even if they choose to buy a basic licenses, because that's all they really need. Okay, the last slide on subscription, which is around the contact center, which is Avaya Contact Center Select. It has again simple voice agent, a multimedia agent, and a supervisor. Those are your 3 sort of primary packages, and then 3 options around report creation wizard and the OpenQueue agents, and business continuity is also a system-wide feature that you can buy as well. So again, IP Office subscription, like enterprise subscription, you can take that as a partner and wrap your services around that to offer to your customers. Okay, so that's it on this section for me. I'll hand over back to Bart.
Yes, thank you, Vincent, for this great overview on Avaya subscriptions. And basically, as a call to action for the partners today on the EMEA Virtual Summit, if you want to learn more about subscriptions, please talk to your local Westcon team to review your legacy install base and build together a strategy to transition those end users to subscriptions. And in the end, get a higher revenue out of that as well. So thanks again, Vincent, for your presentation. And now I would like to hand over to Rob Carmichael, who is consulting sales engineer at Avaya, and he will show you the great value of Avaya Spaces, for all your communication and content sharing needs, and learn how you can stay productive whilst working at the office, or of course remotely, by using Avaya's latest technology. So Rob, over to you.
Thank you, Bart. And so hopefully you've all heard about Avaya Spaces by now, but for those that haven't, this is really, if you like, a next generation collaboration experience. So it's beyond just meetings. So in the past, Avaya's provided, if you like, discrete meeting solutions. And we've all seen during COVID that there's a whole variety of meeting solutions out there right now. But actually, work is a lot more about than that point in time meeting. There's all that the pre-meeting work, what happens during the meeting, taking the notes, assigning the actions, and then the post-call work as well. And so Spaces provides basically a collaboration space. You can create a workspace that lives inside the web, where you can form a dynamic team, regardless of what subscriptions they've got, what platform that they have. I can create a work group for people from any organization or no organization at all, and then start collaborating with them, start messaging them to their browser, even if they have no app installed at all, once they're subscribed up to that page, they will see those notifications. I can then bring them into a meeting. I can actually enable this from a whole organization at no cost, fundamentally. So very, very easy to consume collaboration experience that hopefully you'll start to see here. And as you can see on the next slide, this, as well as being a great service, it has deep integration into Avaya products. So using our workplace unified collaboration and conferencing application in the center there, you can see that this directly integrates with Spaces messaging. So anybody that's if you're in any Spaces group, someone direct messages you and you have our workplace app open, then it can notify you in the app. So if that's where your communications are driven, you can notify and respond via that app. If you're not using that app, of course, then you will see that via your browser or maybe perhaps via your mobile app. But if that communication app is there, it's going to integrate with it. Likewise, for those who've seen in Workplace, goes directly into your calendar and shows you your next meeting that's coming up, and that's exactly the same with Spaces. You'll see the Spaces rocket ship. If your next meeting is Spaces one, you click on the link and it will directly invoke Spaces on your PC there. So very simple to consume. And as you'll see on the next slide, there's the user types are very simple as well. Constant theme of simplicity here. I guess the most important thing to understand about Spaces is that it's sold under a freemium model, and hopefully you're all aware of that. But what that means is that the entry tier is actually free. Essential tier is free. You can onboard your entire company to Spaces, or your customer's entire company, better to say, for free. So let's say they've got 1,000 users. I can onboard their whole domain and give everybody an essential account, and they can all consume it and start taking value from it straight away. So whereas in that kind of traditional meeting service only, if you like, you have 1,000 users, you get 1 or 2 accounts, and then everybody tries to battle over who's got access to the account. With Spaces, you can, because it's more than just meetings, because you're messaging on there too, you're assigning tasks, you're uploading files, you're consuming that regardless of meetings. It's beneficial to give that to all the people in your organization and just remove that cost barrier. But why do that? We do that because, of course, there are paid for tariffs, and that's where the premium part comes in, free with premium upgrades, so that freemium model. So if I take that company of 1,000 users, maybe some of those users are going to need to have more meeting capabilities. So that's where the business tier comes in. And actually, I need to update that slide here. The business side shows you can see 15 participants on screen. You can actually now as of last week, and you can now see on that tier 35 participants on screen, and have a multi-party video call running on there. And then with our power user, again, this we need. In fact, I think it's updated further in the deck. We now show up to 61 participants on screen at once, plus give the ability to dial in, plus give the ability to record it. So 3 very simple tariffs. And at the beginning, it's free. So bring the whole company on, because the more they use it, it's like the network effect, the more eventually the meetings will be moved, and you'll need business and power users to move that forwards. So as we look at the next slide, you'll see, and one more past the title again, Spaces is all about that immediate speed to value, that you turn it on, you get the immediate features which you can use. And you'll see there's kind of like as a rolling thunder. There are continuous development being done here, and almost every time you log into it, every 30 days, there's a whole bunch of new stuff that's been added onto it. So recently, recording has been added into the service. So at any time, if your room's being created by a power user, then and you can have multiple, then you can just hit record. And then that record, as soon as it's finished, will be posted in that same space. So any member of that space will immediately see the recording if they couldn't make that live meeting. So it's continuing that idea that it's a place to get work done, rather than just a one-time event, and then we use offline mediums to send you an email with the notes, tell you a share file to go and find the recording somewhere else. It's all put in one place. And what will come with this service as well is transcription. So leveraging very much the power of the cloud, you're going to start to see things like transcription coming in there in the future as well. So moving into the next slide, and I mentioned this in my devices section, so I won't go this before, but there's very much, as You know, COVID has driven this whole new way of working. People are doing a lot more meetings at home than they ever did before. Maybe historically, people, if you had a meeting, you'd go into the office for the meeting. Now we meet all the time, everywhere. And as we've done that, people want a better experience. They're preparing for that. So this Spaces Room concept, bringing a dedicated application to a dedicated device to give the best possible experience, is something that we're developing and pioneering beyond our competitors. So moving into the next slide, Spaces, obviously, this is, we saw with some of the providers out there in the market, Avaya has always taken security very seriously, and with Spaces it's no different. So, you know, from the ground up, the fact that it's built onto the Google's cloud to begin with, but through to all of these different bullet points, I won't read out to you there. Every aspect of security is taken and built in from the outset. There's no bombing inside Spaces, if you like. So moving on to the next slide. Of course, we provide that direct integration to our platforms as well. So if you're an IP office, in fact, you could administer your users directly from IP office into Spaces. You don't even need to log into the Spaces admin panel. You already have an admin panel for your unified communications world, and you can do that directly from IP office, or for the Aura CM customers, you'll be able to do that there as well. And also you can integrate with your authentication providers, if that's Office 365 or Google, that you can use the single service that's there. Next slide, please. And again, onto the content. So I talked about this continuous evolution. You know, none of these features are only going to set their world on fire, but this is just an example of that continuous evolution. So things like dark mode that's been turned on that gives eye strain. For some people, that is typing indication that shows that the people you put a message there, you think the rest of the team's offline, actually someone starts responding. Before you flick screens, you can see that they're there. Maybe that starts that interaction between the two of you. Rich chat support that allow you to mark it up and being a lot more interactive, and kind of native VDI support. And this is something that blew me away when I saw that we added this in. You know, we can now do VDI support from within a browser. So historically, that's something that required host agents and all sorts of things to be installed, but we're leveraging the latest browser technology to be able to support high quality media inside a virtual desktop environment. Next slide, please. And so I mentioned before that, you know, we've just launched this 61 participant, what we call concert view, for video conferencing. So this is great for those kind of all hands calls where you need to, you know, maybe you're doing compliance training. You need to make sure that everybody in the organization is fully paying attention to this part of the presentation, for instance. You know, multitasking is great, but at this point I need to see that everybody's focused. Or maybe those larger classrooms in the education sphere. We've now got this concept of virtual assemblies where people are actually bringing the kids in, but from all sorts of different locations, including the same building. So I want to see as many people. And so this is market leading. Some of our competitors show a smaller number than this. So our power users now have the ability to do 61 participants on screen for free. They've been updated, and the business users have been also updated as well to, as I said before, to 34. And this is even supported on mobile devices. And another point to benefit about the power of our technology here, this is not relying on really powerful PCs. I've seen some competitors out there where if you want a certain feature, you need to make sure you have a laptop that was bought within the last year and a half, and it's got a certain processor, and maybe even you have to have a certain type of background behind you. This is all done via the cloud. So, you know, even down to your mobile devices, we're keeping the bandwidth consistent and the experience consistent. Next slide, please. So recent announcements, you know, this is starting to be recognized. You know, Spaces is very newly introduced into the market, and, you know, within a year of launch, effectively, has been recognized by Gartner in their Magic Quadrant as already. So there are many providers that effectively are not even counted against there. So within that first year, Gartner's recognized that, and you know, we're very quickly moving to the right and up within that table. So we're very proud of that. Gartner well respected within the industry. And as you'll see on the next slide, and the technical innovation doesn't stop there. We've recently put this press announcement out about our partnership with NVIDIA using their Maxine engine, we'll be able to do things like, as I say, virtual backgrounds without green screens, without super powerful PCs. Automatic background noise elimination. So one of the presenters here is actually battling with some construction work outside. With our partnership with Maxim, we can take care of that automatically again in the cloud, and lots more besides. Bring that automatic intelligence in there, that when you're doing a presentation like this, we'll be able to cut the presenter out automatically and overlay them on the presentation. So, leveraging the latest technology. We're not just doing Me Too here, we're pushing the experience forwards. And then next slide, please. So this is an example of that, using artificial intelligence here to do that background blur, rather than relying on the PC doing that inside the cloud. Minimum CPU requirements again. So we're not talking about, have you got an octa-core PC that you bought 3 days ago? Just whatever device you have is what you should be consuming, right? And the next slide. So this is an example of how we can use that technology to, if we can eliminate the background, then actually we can use it to overlay you on the content, and perhaps on the presentation as well. And what we're showing here is that there was actually, during that presentation, there were 2 people speaking. One of those persons has now sort of become less active, a bit like you're seeing the transition in this presentation. And so eventually they'll just effectively fade out, and you'll be able to automatically focus on the person that's presenting. Obviously, if they start speaking up again, they'll reappear. So it's making it, automatically doing what you'd expect, I suppose. And the next slide, please. So as always, Spaces is a freemium service. You can sign up your customers onto this, and actually they can bring on the whole domain. But of course, there's a free trial which includes that next tier up. Those business and power users are available for 60 days. So it's quite a generous free trial, so you can benefit from that service. So anybody that's interested in extending beyond the voice only experience with you there, let's start bringing them into this world. Of those IP Office customers, those Aura customers, or those standalone want a great experience but don't want to sign up to a new unified communication subscription at this point. And the next slide, please. Thank you very much for listening today. And if there's any questions, then we'll pick them up at the end of the session.
Yes, thank you, Rob, for your great overview on Avaya Spaces. And I personally think it's great to see those latest developments, and even the recognition from Gartner earlier this year. So that's really impressive to see. At Westcon, we see that Avaya Spaces is the solution for all of your communication and content sharing in one space. So do reach out to your local Westcon team to get that free 60-day trial for your end user setup, so they can experience the advantages themselves.
Yep, great, fantastic.
Well, we go to the next speaker. Vincent will talk to you about the roadmap of Avaya and what's coming ahead. So, Vincent, over to you.
Perfect. Thank you, Bart. So, obviously, in 10-15 minutes is not going to be a lot of detail here, but let me touch on a number of areas in this section here. Yeah. So, as this slide in particular shows, sort of our overarching sort of positioning in the market. The focus clearly is around CCaaS, UCaaS, but also communications platform as a service, CPaaS as well, with the Avaya One Cloud overarching brand, to drive customer outcomes, to improve how they serve their customers, and how they can improve how they collaborate together. So some customers want to take a service or want to consume a service, and sort of ready to go. Other customers may choose to kind of take the platform and build their own service, as opposed to kind of buying or consuming a service. And so that's why CPaaS is sort of an integral part of the solution offering as we move forward. So moving on to the next slide, let's talk a little bit more about the UCaaS side of the portfolio. So we talked about Avaya Cloud Offers, right? The public cloud offering, and that was launched in Europe in end of June in the UK. Then end of September, October was launched in Ireland, Netherlands, and France, and we continue to expand on that. So in December, we are adding 5 more countries: Germany, Austria, Belgium, Italy, and Spain to the list. And as we move into next calendar year, we'll add more as well. And so the detailed country roadmap is forthcoming. On top of that, Dave mentioned it, but also Rob has mentioned it. We continue to innovate and develop around Avaya Cloud Offers to make the solution more sort of rounded and robust, and also differentiate ourselves from the competition. So we have a number of features and capabilities being added to the platform on a regular basis. So support for the cameras and the speakerphones, the B129, the CU360 we talked about at length today. The CU360 has software now that supports the Ring Central UCaaS or Avaya Cloud Office Virtual Room, but the platform itself also has a software in December to support it. And we'll add more capabilities around visual voicemail and park and page. On the subscription side, sorry, not yet ready to switch. On the subscription side, we have a full range of solutions actually available. So I would argue we have all the capability, we'll say 95% or 99% of the UC portfolio covered in the subscription offers we have. We'll continue to kind of refine this and also make it easier for you as a partner to order and quote these solutions. And as we sort of enhance our portfolio, we'll do some lifecycle updates to the packaging over time. And then with Avaya Spaces, Rob talked about this. Don't want to spend too much time on it, but because he already did it. But I think the key message on Avaya Spaces is that the innovation is constant. It's every week, and we are heavy users of Avaya, or ourselves are heavy users. So we get emails every week that new features and capabilities are added, and we don't even know it. We're told about it. The 61 participant video, the Avaya Vantage board is coming in December. The announcement we did with NVIDIA will allow us to do some very clever artificial intelligence things around the speaker overlay and the background replacement. So it's really to continue to innovate around that. On the next slide, we'll talk about the CCaaS and the CPaaS side of things. So that's obviously a question that comes up a lot. We talked about Avaya Cloud Offers. What's happening on the CCaaS side of things? So we have a CCaaS offering available in the United States today. We will take that to market in UK and Ireland initially in January, and then other countries will follow in March next year. So that solution will be a fully sort of public cloud offering for voice agents, multimedia agents, including digital channels, and as well as including by default call recording and screen recording as well. And we're bringing in, as part of a feature roadmap, as you can see, things like callback assist, workspaces, additional CRM integrations, and so on. On the subscription side for the contact center portfolio, we already have, as I mentioned, a very robust set of capabilities in the offering. Most recently added is the workforce engagement solutions, Oceana and Avaya Contact Center Select for the mid-market segment, and we will add additional capabilities, lifecycle updates as we go along. I think the one piece that is not there today that we'll have in January is the Nuance piece. Some of the Nuance licenses today are still perpetually licensed, so we will bring that into the fold as well with the subscription beginning of 2021. On CPaaS, communications platform as a service, again, we're looking at firstly, a lot with these public cloud offerings. We roll this out, over time and make it available in multiple countries. So UK and Ireland are first on the roll this month, with CPaaS being available, offering a SIP trunking option. We're adding more package applications and SIP direct media capabilities. And then next quarter, we'll add Netherlands, France, and Italy as well, and we'll continue to evolve how we make this available to you through our pricing and quoting tools. You see here on a few occasions the word storefront or channel marketplace. So those are the way we will make this available to you. Very easy. The offers are easy. Subscription is easy. The offers are easy, so it becomes also more easy for you to price this up for your customers. So last slide next is on devices. So we have various, as Rob explained, lots of options for customers. So I just wanted to call out a few things in our roadmap, because actually the roadmap on devices is actually quite extensive. My view is that the devices will help us round out the solutions. It will also, in many cases, enable an improved, software and services sale, a subscription sale, a cloud sale, by us being differentiated in the market. So on the sort of the classical telephones, the IP phones, we've recently introduced 2 new models, the J159 and the J189, fully available, just for slightly different user types, and that's sort of the run of the mill. I think Rob went through the Vantage device quite a bit, but I think the few things to take away is that that the Vantage 3 device is available as of today, generally available. But it has, I put in a number of icons and screenshots, but it has sort of native integration with Avaya Spaces. And when I reviewed the roadmap with the product manager earlier this week, he completely managed the Spaces call we had through his Vantage device. And when we shared some content, he extended this from his Vantage device onto his screen. So it's a very powerful device. Audio, conferencing, collaboration, and cameras. So again, we continue to look at the peripherals to enhance the experience. The CU360 we talked about, the B129, sort of the next sort of level up of the B109, sort of personal conferencing or very huddle room type of conferencing device that will be available, and in December. And actually it's already supported on the Avaya Cloud offers. We've done some early testing there, and we have cameras. We have today the H huddle camera 20 and the 50. We will also next quarter we'll be bringing out a smaller sort of version, the H huddle camera 10. So it's obviously at a lower price point. And then we have the B109 Pro. So I use the B109 every day of the week, and we'll enhance that with the Pro version. Now, the one thing I was very clear and wanted to make sure everybody understood around Avaya Cloud offers is that as we move into next quarter, we will also deliver a DECT solution to the market that works with Avaya Cloud offers. So that's don't ask, especially in some of the countries where we're going GA on Avaya Cloud offers in December. So we will be addressing that need as well. Okay, so that was it in terms of the roadmap from my side. Bart, I'll hand it back to you. Oh no, actually we're going straight into the race to Dubai, aren't we?
Thank you. I'd like to introduce our incentive for FY21 Race to Dubai for all partners who are eligible to sign up for this. We're expected to go on a 4-day trip to Dubai, where we intend to visit Expo 2021 and also visit Ferrari World and do lots of fun things. And in the evenings, the social calendar is well planned out, including a hosted evening by Avaya with the executive team and executives from Westcon to give you a full experience. And as we move on to the next slide, Vincent, would you like to help partners understand the eligibility?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we worked very closely with Westcon to put this incentive together. It runs for the entire year. So we have some requirements in order to become eligible for the incentive. So it's Sapphire is primarily targeted at Sapphire, Emerald, and open resellers that sell Avaya Cloud Offers and open SIP devices. Also, Diamond partners that are signed up as sales agents for Avaya Cloud Offers will also be eligible. So, in order to get ranked, if you will, then if you sell Avaya Cloud Offers at 750 seats, or if you're a Diamond partner, 1,500 seats, then you get in basically up the ranking. And then the other alternative is when you sell open SIP devices, or a combination of the two. Yes, there's more detailed documentation available, but ultimately, at the end of the year, we'll see who ranks in top 8 existing Avaya partners and top 4 new sales agents for Avaya Cloud Offers will be selected to join us.
Thank you. Moving on to the next slide, Bart. So to enroll, please visit our landing page on our corporate website and accept the terms and conditions, and absolutely start selling OpenSIP devices and or Avaya Cloud Office, and all purchased through Westcon. We very much look forward to being on the journey with you throughout the year. We will provide you with a monthly leadership board, and as Vincent says, our top 8 partners and our top 4 new focus partners will enjoy a great 4 days away in Dubai. Thank you. Back over to you, Bart.
Yeah, thank you for explaining this great incentive. I think it's a great opportunity for partners to take part in this and experience the greatest and latest in Dubai. I would also like this opportunity, before we head over to Larry Soffer, the award-winning mentalist, to answer a couple of questions that you have been asked during today's event. There were a lot of questions in the chat box, so we would like to invite the other speakers as well. Yeah. So maybe you can go through some interesting questions, Melkit?
Yes, absolutely. So I think the first one, Dave, is for yourself. When is SMS and MMS likely to become available on ACO for the UK?
Yeah, there isn't any plans currently or anywhere on the roadmap market for SMS to be supported on ACO in the UK or anywhere outside the US, I should say. It was on the roadmap for early next year, but it has now been pulled and there's no dates that have been published.
Okay, thank you. And Dave, you get to go again. When can we expect ACO availability in the Nordics, Norway, Sweden, and Denmark?
I'm liking these questions. They're difficult ones that I don't know the answers to, but those countries haven't been announced, but we're expecting the announcements for at least 3 to 4 countries every quarter next year. So as you've seen within the launch of the US back in March, UK in June, Ireland in September, there's more in December, and every quarter there'll be 3 to 4 countries coming on board. So watch this space for the countries that are notified.
Okay, thank you. And Rob, when will Vantage be supported on ACO?
I would probably throw that one back to Dave, actually.
What I've seen, Market, is Q1 next year, is the expectation for Vantage to be supported.
Okay. And Rob, this is definitely to you. What differentiates Spaces from Teams?
It's a great question. I mean, the Teams, I guess, has a very similar experience in terms of this web-based ability to make these kind of workstream collaborations. I guess the primary difference is how you consume it. You know, Teams is part of a wider subscription where at the top level you're paying quite a lot of money per user per month. So to turn that out onto the whole organization would be pretty expensive, and that's the hidden cost that you find there with Teams. So for organizations who just want to add that collaboration capability without throwing away everything else they're currently consuming, then that's where Spaces would be a great complement.
Excellent. And I've got another one for you as well, Rob, because I like to do things in twos, apparently. So can you join a Spaces meeting from another meeting room, e.g. Teams? So can you join Spaces from Teams? Is that possible?
No, so Teams doesn't provide that capability typically to link conferencing solutions together. But Spaces provides the ability to invite anybody in the world. So I can send you a link and you can get on with any device, and you just click on the link inside your calendar. Teams provides a link to dial into as well. So the need to dial from a specific client into a specific platform, IT managers do ask that, but end users click on the link inside their email typically. Right.
Okay, thank you. And Vincent, I'm definitely not going to leave you out. So in terms of subscriptions, what flexibility is available to flex down during the life cycle of a contract?
Yeah, so I think on the enterprise side, with Aura, you buy subscription, or you take a consumption contract for a certain amount of licenses. You can't change that downwards. The key is to peg it at the right level, but leverage the 20% free flex up. You can change it at the point of renewal. So if you take a 3-year contract, after 3 years, you can change the license count at that point in time. On IP Office, the subscription offer has a 10% flex down built into the offer.
Thank you. And Rob, I've got one final one for you as well. Does the 61 participants on Spaces only work in the concert layout?
And what comes with this release is the ability of a lot more layouts. Basically, you as a participant can change your layout a lot more effectively. So, are there different geometries with 61? I'm not sure, but it's not just now you have a choice of 35 or 61. There's a whole range of different sizes and layouts that you can have. So that's just one example that we were showing within that screenshot. So have a play with it. That's a simple answer. It's there and it's easy to consume. You don't need an admin. You don't need to run an event like this kind of more published event. It's for your daily meetings. You want to change the layout? Change the layout. Away you go.
Excellent. Thank you. So, do we have any more of the relevant ones? Any questions we don't answer today, we'll reach out to the individuals offline and answer them out of this session. I believe we've captured most of the main questions there, Rob. We'll answer the other ones. Sorry, Bart. We'll answer the other ones offline. Would you like to go back to Bart? Over to you.
Yes, thanks all for answering these questions. I would like to introduce now our live virtual performance by international award-winning mentalist, illusionist, and magician Larry Soffer. So enjoy the show.
Is that Prince Harry?
Oh my word!
This will be unbelievable. So you ready for this?
Yeah.
Big Bang is here.
Oh my god!
Stop, that was an F.
Nice. Yo, that's crazy, dude. Whoa.
Thank you very much for that wonderful introduction. Yes, my name is Larry Soffer, and I'm a mentalist. I read minds, I predict the future, I bend metal, I do weird and wonderful things, and you're going to get to experience some of that here today. In fact, we're going to get started with a little bit of a warm-up just to get you all into the swing of things. So everybody raise your right hand like this, and if we could have some volunteers up onto the screen, that would be cool, and you can all follow me. So everybody raise your right hand like this, and take your index finger and your thumb and place it together, and take that circle and place it on your chin. This is your chin, guys. But if you thought that this was your chin, that just shows me how easily you're going to be able to be influenced here today. So we're going to have a lot of fun. Welcome. What are your names?
Malkit.
Malcolm. Very nice to have you here, Malcolm. Malkit and Renee, yes?
Yes.
Great. So nice to meet you, Malkit, and nice to meet you, Renee. And where are you guys from?
Netherlands.
UK.
From the UK. Perfect. And Malkit, I think I've seen you at another event before, right?
You have, Larry. You saw me at the ME event.
Awesome. Well, great to see you again. Nice to meet you, Renee. We're going to get started with something kind of interesting. I had a dream about you guys last night. But before I tell you about this dream, I want to show you guys the virtual clap. So I know during this time it's a little bit awkward to clap in your own home, and it feels like you're clapping alone, right? So this is what's cool for the virtual clap. So if you could just raise your hands like this, and you can shimmer them like that. Great, and that's how you can still show some love even in these interesting times. So I had a dream about you guys, and Malkit, in my dream, you chose a card. I saw which card you chose. This morning, I turned that card upside down in this pack. So Malkit, if you had to think of a card right now and I had to match that card that's upside down, that would be crazy, right?
Yes.
What card would you think of, Malkit?
Ace of Spades.
This is so weird. I have one face-up pack. Inside the box, I have one card that's turned face down in the entire. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. I got a little bit thrown off there because my box dropped to the floor. So it wasn't actually turned face down, Malkit. I'm going to actually turn one card over, and we're going to do that again. So if you had to change your mind from the Ace of Spades to another card.
Jack of Hearts.
Jack of Hearts. So weird. Look, once again, one face-up pack, one card that's turned face down in the entire face-up pack. Wouldn't it be so weird if that was the Jack of Hearts? Thank you very much.
That is absolutely amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So I've got something really special for you guys here today. I told you, Malkit and Renee, that I would try and influence your thoughts to think of something in particular. And we're going to try and do that now. I have different numbers over here. You can see that they're all varying. They vary from each other. And I'm going to just mix them up face down. And I don't want you guys to see how I'm mixing them. So I'll even mix them behind the table over here. That's good. All right, so they're completely mixed. And Malkit, all you have to do is just say yes wherever you like. So I'm going to put the cards face down onto the table, and you just say yes wherever you like. Wherever you say yes, that's the card we'll use. This one on the table?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm so glad you went for that one because that's the exact one I wanted to go for. Malkit, say yes again.
Yes.
This one over here?
Yes, please.
Okay, cool. And Renee, just say yes wherever you like.
Yes.
This one?
Yep.
Perfect. That's the exact one I wanted to go for, Renee. And we've got two more that we're going to use. So do you want the one in position number 1, 2, 3, or 4?
4.
1. I'm so glad you went for number 1, and that's why I said you want 1, 2, 3, or 4. I emphasized number 1 and number 2 because I wasn't too sure which one you were going to go for, but I was hoping number 1. So once again, do you want number 1, 2, or 3?
2.
2. Okay, so this one over here?
Yes.
Yes, so this one goes in the last position, and we'll place these away. We don't need those. So you guys created this number here today. You could have stopped me at any position in any order, but you created this number, 65676. 65676. Remember, this piece of paper has been sitting here the entire time. Before the show even began, I printed out exactly 65676. And I know things can seem really upside down at the moment, but you know what? With Avaya, anything is possible. Thank you very much. Great. So you guys have been so cool. We're going to try something with Myrtle. Nice to meet you, Myrtle. And where are you from?
From Italy.
From Italy, great.
Live from Milan.
Say again?
Live from Milan.
Live from Milan. Okay, cool. So we're going to use you in the next segment, if that's okay. The one just after this. And Malkit, I would like to use yourself again. So do you have your cell phone with you?
I do.
Great. And is it iPhone, Samsung, Huawei?
iPhone.
So can you go onto your Safari or Google Chrome, whichever internet browser it is that you use?
Yep.
And I want you to type in this full question. You're going to type in, how many articles are there on Wikipedia? So once you've typed that in, you can let me know. You can press search. But I'm going to show you all how insanely impossible this next effect is that I'm about to do with Malkit. Have you typed that in, Malkit?
Yeah, nearly.
Nearly. And once you press search, you should see a website that says WikiCount. It should be the first or second website there.
I do.
Great. You can click into that and then show us what it says. Awesome. So it says there are approximately 6 million articles in the English Wikipedia. Is that as of today?
Yep, 5th of November, as of today.
Perfect. And how many words are there per article? It should say just below that.
1,347.
So 1347.
Yep.
1347 times 6 million, that would give us somewhere between, I don't know, 8 to 9 billion words on Wikipedia. I'm going to read your mind on one of those 8 to 9 billion words, Malkit. And that's how insanely impossible this effect is that I'm about to do. So I want you to scroll down and you should be able to visit Wikipedia. Do you see that?
Yep.
Great. And once you're inside Wikipedia, you can let me know.
I'm in.
Great. There should be a little magnifying glass toward the top of your screen. Do you see that?
I do.
Awesome. You can click into that and then type in any friend or family member's name, somebody who there's no way that I could ever possibly know.
Just his first name.
Yes, and don't tell me anything about the person. In fact, why don't you delete every single letter rather? So backspace and delete every single letter, and rather think of a celebrity instead. So an actor, actress, sports star, musician, singer, totally up to you. And you let me know when you've typed it in. If you typed in Jennifer, you'd say Jennifer Lopez or Jennifer Aniston. So you type in the full name. Obviously, don't think of Jennifer now. And once you've pressed search, you should get an article. And you can let me know when you've got your article.
Sorry, bear with me.
Okay. So if you press search already, just go to the little magnifying glass.
Yep, got it.
Okay, I tell you what, we don't have to worry about the article right now. You can put your phone face down. I'm going to try and get the celebrity from your mind. I want you to imagine the first letter of your celebrity's name. Do you have that in your mind?
Yep.
Okay. Did you change your mind from one celebrity to the next?
I did.
Okay. Can you go for the? Yeah, let's go for the first celebrity that you thought of.
Okay.
Have you got something? And just think of the first letter of this person's name.
Yep.
Okay. And can you think of a color that begins with that letter?
Yep.
Good. Can you go to the second letter of your color? And can you think of, I don't know, like a day of the week, month, or maybe even a holiday that begins with that, with the second letter of your color?
Yes, I've got a day of the month.
You've got a day of the month. Okay, so just so I know what's the day of the month, just so I understand how you're
Sorry.
thinking.
I meant month, not the day of the month. I've got a month.
You got a month that begins with the second letter?
Yep.
I see. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna try and do this. I'm just trying to get away of how you're thinking over here. I'm getting something with a D in your mind. Does that make sense?
No.
Is that like the last name of the celebrity's name, like the surname?
Yes.
A D. Okay, cool. So the first name, it begins with another letter. And then are you thinking of a color that begins with that letter?
Yep. So not for the first letter, for the second letter, yes, I've got a color.
You got a color with the first letter of the celebrity's name.
Yes.
I don't know why I'm getting red. Does that make sense to you?
Absolutely does.
It does. Were you thinking of the color red?
I was.
Okay, good. So now I'm getting aware that you're thinking right now. So keep thinking about this celebrity. So it obviously begins with an R, right?
It does. It does.
Just say it over and over in your head, just in your mind, over and over, like Ray Donovan.
Yeah.
Ray Donovan.
Yes. Really, yes. Yeah.
And what's even crazier is
Ray Donovan.
Yeah, Ray Donovan. And what's even crazier is before you thought of Ray Donovan, you thought of a family member, right? Well, actually, it was a friend, wasn't it?
No, he's a family member. Well, he's a friend as well, actually. There was two people I thought of, but the first one was a friend, yes.
The first one was a friend. And just think of this person. There's no way I could know what this person's name is because you didn't even search for this person, right?
No, you wouldn't know. Yeah, I'd be very surprised if you know the name. I'm
Yeah,
very surprised indeed.
You searched for Ray Donovan instead. You didn't even search for this person.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try and get his name from your mind right now. Okay, this is definitely a friend. Am I getting that he's French?
Wow, that's amazing.
Is that
really
right?
amazing? It really is amazing. Yes, it is.
So just think the name in his head. Just think it.
I already know it.
I'm just getting. Yes, I'm getting this. This is great. I think I've got this. So for the first time, Malkit, for the first time, I want you to tell everybody what is the friend's name that you were merely thinking of. You didn't even search for the name. What is that name?
Philippe. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. That is really, really good. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. So Myrtle, just so you know, the way that we can show our love during this time is with a virtual clap, and that's what you're seeing the other guys doing. Just so you know, they're just not swinging their hands around. But if you want to, you're very welcome. That's the way we can still show our love. And what's even crazy is now that I've done this with Malkit, I'm sure you guys somewhat believe that it's maybe possible to read minds. Would you agree with that, Myrtle?
After what you did to Market, yes.
Yes. So Malkit, we're going to try this with Myrtle right now. And we didn't pre-arrange anything. We've never spoken before. I literally just saw you at another event, right?
Absolutely. No, we've never spoken before.
Well, thank you very much. You were amazing. So Myrtle, I have different cards over here. These are called ESP cards, and Malkit can stay with us. We have a circle, a plus, a wavy line, we have a square, and we have a star. All right. So these are called ESP symbols, and the reason for that is it stands for extrasensory perception. And there was experiments that was done in the 1930s where one person would stand in one room, another person would stand in another, and they would try to read each other's minds. So one person would think of one of these cards, and the other person would try to read that person's mind on the card. So this could resemble the circle of life, a plus on a calculator or an aeroplane. The wavy lines could resemble the ocean or a river. thinking outside of the box, and Twinkle Little Star, a children's nursery rhyme. So Myrtle, I want you to close your eyes right now, and I'm going to try and put you into a heightened state of awareness, but also a relaxed state of being at the same time. So I want you to take a deep breath in and breathe out. And I want you to imagine yourself walking down a path in your mind. And as you're walking, I want you to imagine seeing a river moving around you, and you're seeing the colors blue and green. You can open up your eyes. Do you feel a little bit more relaxed?
Yeah, a bit of.
Excellent. Perfect. Because right now you're going to connect with me in a very interesting way. But before I do that, I want to bring your attention to this envelope over here. I'm not going to touch it up until the end. And there's some duplicate cards. These cards match these. Renee, if you had to think of a simple object that you could draw, something that you'd see in your own home or something that you'd see outside, what would you draw?
Yeah.
Absolutely anything.
I don't know. Let's do this.
You would draw a pen?
Yeah.
I love it. The pen is mightier than the sword. That's a great choice. So, Malkit, if you had to think of the word pen, could you get an associated word with the word pen? Could you get an associated word coming to mind?
Yep.
Great. I want you to change your mind to another associated word.
I think so, yes.
Good. And change your mind one last time. So now you even have a word that you didn't even know that you were going to think of. You got something?
Yep.
Great. So what is that word? You can tell us.
Land.
Land?
Yep.
L-A-N-D, right?
Yep.
So you started off with one word and you ended up with land, which is a word that you didn't even know that you would initially think of, right?
No.
Excellent. So like I said, I have different matching cards over here. So we're going to get back to that word in just a moment. Myrtle, I have different matching cards, and I want you to try and connect with me right now. In fact, I want you to tell me, which card do you think this one matches with?
The star.
The star. And that was just a feeling that you had, right? Yes, Myrtle, it was just like a random feeling?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
This is so crazy because I put you into a heightened state of awareness, but also a relaxed state of being at the same time. And you were absolutely correct. So Myrtle, I want to try this again, but this time I'm going to shuffle up the cards, give them a good mix here. And this time I don't even know which card is which. You just tell me, where do you think this one matches?
The circle.
The circle over here. Do you want to change your mind, or you're happy?
I'm okay.
You're happy with the mind you have? I have no idea if you got this, but if you did, yes, crazy. Myrtle, we're going to do this one more time. I would love it if you could get all 5 right. This would be insane. Let's see. I'm going to put this one over here. Remember, in the 1930s, they would not get all 5 right. They might have got 2 or 3 out of 5. So if you can get all 5 here today, this would be crazy. I'm going to mix these up. So I don't even know which one is which. Where should I put this one?
To the square.
The square. And this last one?
In the middle.
Over here with the wavy lines?
Yep.
Do you want to change any around? No? So you definitely want this one to go here with a plus.
Yep.
I'm so glad you left the plus up until last. Now, I have no idea if you got these 2, but if you did, yes, 100% correct. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, you guys were so amazing, and Myrtle, you were able to prove that the impossible is still possible, even in these difficult times. You were able to make the impossible possible. And what's really interesting is right at the beginning, I asked Renee and Malkit to think of certain items. You thought of a drawing and an associated word. You even changed your mind a few times. This envelope has been sitting here the entire time. It's been sealed with a sticky dot. Before the show even began, I drew something on this piece of paper. I drew exactly a pen. And Renee, you were even struggling to think of what to think of, but you eventually came to pen. And Malkit, you chose the word?
Land.
Malkit, I don't always get this right, but today I did. Thank you very much. You guys have been amazing. I got one last special thing for all of you. If I can keep you all on the line, that would be great. I had a dream last night, and in my dream, I dreamt that there was an evil villain that tried to take over the world, and there was a superhero that came to save the day. And like in all good stories, there was love involved, and the superhero saved the love of his life. So let me see here. Renee, you're going to think of our super villain, okay? And then Vincent, you haven't helped us out yet. You're going to think of our superhero. And Malkit, you're going to think of the weapon that our superhero uses. And Myrtle, you're going to think of the love of our superhero's life. Bear in mind that these items have to exist either in a comic book already, or they have to be a completely made-up name. So something that exists in a comic book or fairy tale, or completely made-up name. So Renee, do you have an idea for who our super villain is?
Super what?
Our super villain, the evil guy, the bad guy.
Okay. A very bad guy.
Yes.
Can I have to say your name?
Yes.
You mean a Trump or kind of?
It can be somebody who exists in a comic book or in a fairy tale, or somebody who's completely made up.
Say Trump?
It's a little bit unclear. Could you maybe type it in the chat? And then
Mr. Trump?
Trump. Oh, I see. Well, it has to be somebody who exists in a comic book or somebody who's completely made up.
Completely made up.
Yes. Like somebody completely fictitious that you just could create any name in your mind.
Okay. Hank.
Hank.
Yes.
Like that?
Yes, exactly.
Great. Excellent. And Vincent, what is our superhero's name?
Spider-Man, of course.
Spider-Man. Spider-Man. And what is our weapon that Spider-Man is going to use, Malkit?
Whip.
A whip. I love it. A whip. And Myrtle, what is the love of Spider-Man's life? Once again, it could be a completely made-up name. It doesn't have to be Mary Jane.
No. In this case, it will be Snow White.
Snow White. Okay. Snow White. So you guys decided these items. You could have chosen absolutely anything, but you decided that Hank was going to take over the world. Spider-Man was going to save the day using a whip, and he was going to save the love of his life, Snow White. This is so interesting because before the show even began here today, I actually wrote down something on a piece of paper that I put inside my wallet. I actually put it inside an envelope, which I put inside a zipper compartment of my wallet over here. You guys can see this. It's completely sealed. It's also got a zipper compartment right over here. And that's the envelope that I was talking about. This is so weird. This envelope is completely sealed with staples all the way around it. and it's even got a sticky dot over there. That's where I wrote my dream on that piece of paper. This is the crazy part, guys. It says, last night I had a dream. Thank you very much. You guys want to see the rest of it, right? Here we go. It says, last night I had a dream that there was an evil villain named Hank that tried to take over the world, and luckily Spider-Man was there to save the day. Using a secret weapon called a whip. Not only did he help us win the battle, but he also saved the love of his life, Snow White. Thank you very much. I'm Larry Sopper. It's been such a pleasure being with all of you here again. Thank you for having me. Enjoy the rest of the events.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. I think that was really amazing what Larry just showed, and I don't know how it was with you all over there, but I was pretty amazed in the stuff that Larry showed and the tricks he performed live with us. So thanks, Larry, for that. And yeah, this means that we have also come to the end to the Avaya and Westcon virtual summit. I would like to thank you very much for your participation today. We received a lot of questions, even just during the show with Larry. We received some really interesting questions. So we will respond to each individual question that hasn't been answered yet. So thanks again for attending the event today. Please contact your local Westcon account team if you have any questions. We will share the recording with all of you. So if you want to look back to the latest updates on subscriptions or the promotions that we discussed today, you will have plenty of time to watch that over again. For now, have a wonderful day, wonderful week, wonderful month, and see you next time. Thank you all.